morning, Justice Warriors. How goes it? First day of spring. You guys are probably well aware. Last night at about a couple minutes after 11 o'clock was the spring equinox, I think. It's hard for me to understand all that stuff. I'm not an astrologist or an astronomer. I just live on the planet like you. So, how is everybody today? I think it's Wednesday. It's March 20th. I'm pretty positive it's the first day of spring. Always exciting. Even though, I kind of mourn the loss of winter. Mrs. Amir, look at you. You and me, girl. How are you? So, are you on a different schedule for seasons? Like, would this be the first day of fall or winter? Probably fall, right? Because you're in like South Africa or something. If you feel like sharing, good morning, or I guess good evening. I don't know. I would think you're probably about 8 hours different, forward or behind. If you want to fill me in, we are 11:53 a.m. Standard Eastern Seaboard Time on Wednesday, March 20th. Bex is on the same standard East Coast Seaboard time. Are you not? Good morning. Or wait, you're saying afternoon, so maybe you're not. It's still 6 minutes left of morning. We got to milk it for everything we can, right? So, anyway, how are you guys today? Thank you so much for coming in. I love seeing you drift away. Good morning. Yes, almost lunchtime. Yes, it is. So, I like to try to get my live going in the morning. Hola, Annie Ruler. Good. And you, ma'am, it's 5:53 p.m. and it's the beginning of fall. Look at that. There's so many wild things about this planet that we don't know if we don't travel or time travel or something. Or have the internet to communicate with people on the other side of planet Earth. So cool. So cool. And Mary says, Central here. Thanks so much for coming in, everybody. Mrs. Amir, Bex, Drift Away, Annie Ruler, CB, Mary. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Shall we get on with it? I've got some crap to share with you guys. So I wasn't like angry or anything with the title to my live. If you notice, it was Damn Your Eyes, which I just love Johnny Cash, And I did pay a little bit of attention this morning to the good old pissing contest going on here on YouTube. I haven't paid much attention. I'm super busy. I have a life. I have a channel. I'm doing that whole yoga metamorphosis thing. So, yeah. And then there was like the big crisis going on Sunday night with law enforcement, who I'm married to. So, that was extremely troubling, and it will continue to be a little troubling until we know the whole deal. It takes a long time for those things to shake out, but like I said, all's well that ends well, and I'm not really here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about you. I'm here to talk about the cases. My favorite, Ms. Kylie Rodney. Also, the Watts case. Oh my goodness, you guys. Something that I've thought many, many, many times about the Watts case, and I don't think I've ever remembered to say it on camera. I don't know. Maybe I have once or something, just like a smidge of it. I don't know that I've ever heard anyone else talk about it. So for those of you that are familiar with the Watts case, yeah, I think it's stupid and it's annoying. Yes, it is. But at the same time, oh, I like Thrift Away. That's cute. Mrs. Amir, probably a typo, but made me think Thrift Away. Anyway, back to my thought. I think I had one. Nicole NK really gave herself up. This is why, and don't tell the criminals, this is why criminals just put a sock in it and don't say blip, because everything you say can and will be held against you, whether you're being arrested or not. I mean, look at us here on the YouTube, right? Or any social media. You got to be careful about what you put out, because people will come back at you. You'll get the pushback. So what Nicole said in one of the interviews. I'm not sure if it was the 3 hour and 33-minute one or a different one. You guys will probably remember, somebody might, when she said that Chris Watts vacuums every room in his house, even if he's shut the door and nobody's been in there since the last time he vacuumed it. You don't say, Nicole. And you would know this how? Did he just happen to share this information with you over the phone, or when you guys were in bed at your house? He was talking about how he vacuums rooms that don't need vacuuming? I don't think so. When she said that, the very first time I heard her say that, I was like, oh man, she just let all of us know that she's been in his house many a times and she's seen him do this. She's seen him open a door, go in there and vacuum when she knows that he hasn't been in there because she's been with him every day at his house, right? Seriously. We give away so much more information than we realize when we tell a story about anything. You know, like when we're like, I don't know, man, pawn it. I've pawned lots. I mean, I've pawned 1 or 2 things in my lifetime. Yeah, keep talking, girl. You just keep flapping that jaw. I don't believe Nancy had SF on her panel. I saw that SF was on somebody's panel, and I'm not sure who Nancy is. Is that a content creator that I'm not familiar with? But they feel proud. You know, I'll tell you who I'm talking about. The annoying pissing contest. Let's see. But they feel proud and as if they got away with it and cannot shut up. Well, and they talk also because they're nervous. And so, yeah, the magic, the key, the skill, it's a skill, is to keep your own trap shut and just let them keep talking. And when there's silence, you don't even need to fill it in. You don't need to ask a question. You don't need to share. Just sit there with the silence. And most likely, they'll get nervous and they'll fill the silence with whatever. And it's always going to be really good information. Okay, Vinny had Gray Hughes investigate. I didn't know about this. I see, I ignore a lot of these channels. Nancy Grace. Oh, no way. See, I like Nancy Grace. I do. I don't like everything she says and does. Of course not. But I've followed Nancy Grace since the 90s, since the beginning of, Inside Edition and all that. And I think she speaks from the heart. She had SF Investigates on her show? Grr. Hey, Sandra. Good to see you. Silence the Truckee way. Exactly. The sound of silence. It is so key. I mean, as a therapist, I know that my biggest gift that I can give to my clients and my best skill is to listen and to do what I call active listening. That doesn't mean that you have to talk at all. Like I said, sometimes the best thing you can do is remain silent. And in a therapy situation, you're allowing the person to get to their next thought or the next thing that they want to share. And you're allowing them to do it. So you're facilitating their therapy. And it's a beautiful thing. Not very many of us, self-included, are really good active listeners. It's hard because we all want to tell our own story. We all want to fill in the airspace because it does make us uncomfortable. It's a human condition. And yeah, too much of a good thing is not a good thing, Driftaway. Silence the Truckee way is definitely effed up, and it costs people their lives, and it probably cost Kylie her life, and it's probably costing her justice too. So screw them all. Somebody's gonna spill it at some point. So I'm fascinated that Nancy Grace had SF Investigates on her show. Excuse me while I throw up. Yes, freaking way. Oh my goodness, that is too funny. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with True Crime King. He's totally ridiculous in my opinion. So he put up this post that came in my feed that said, even though I'm, not subbed to him or anything, that said, these are the channels that I recommend. And it was like, uh, oh, what was that one? I can't ever think of it because I try to block him out. The one that we all like, not Morbid Reality, but the other one, the one that's like that, and a whole bunch of others. It was like a half a dozen of them, and uh, Murder Metal Mayhem was on there, which I think he's decent. Um, the lawyer that was on there, and a handful of others, and some of them I don't even think I'd heard of, but most of them I was just like, yeah, not my cup of tea. But he was kidding. He was being sarcastic. It was like something that Harsh Reality, I guess, maybe had done. So apparently there's been a pissing contest with Harsh Reality, Crime Circus, and this guy, True Crime King. Like, who the hell calls themselves that? Ridiculous. Like anybody's going to be the king of true crime. I mean, you got people like, what's his name, Mr. Ballin or something like that, who has like 2 million followers. You've got Christina Randall, who has almost 2 million followers. Like, those are the people that are going to be the king and the queen of true crime, not us people with a handful of thousands of followers, right? I mean, size doesn't matter, right? But anyway, so I went over to Harsh to see what he had to say about it, and he was basically saying that this channel likes to bash channels so that he can get more views, because he doesn't get that many views unless he's trash talking. And I thought, oh, isn't that sweet? Okay, isn't that sincere and you know authentic? Not. You guys know I'm a huge supporter of Crime Circus. I think that Drip Drop is great. And it was trying that True Crime King last week who thought he was doxing Drip Drop, and he put a photograph of a dude that looked like Drip Drop without the getup that he has with the spiders and all that. And he like put his real name. And I took a screenshot and I emailed it to Drip Drop. I was like, dude, just so you know, this is going on. And he emailed me back and he said, yeah, I know. And that's not me, or something like that. And I was like, good. Like, I didn't want to be bothering him with it, but I knew that if somebody was doing that with my information, I would appreciate knowing. It's not the end of the world if people know your name. I mean, I would love to share my name with you guys, and hopefully at some point that'll happen one way or another. Not asking anybody to do, the doxing thing, but, it's just a matter of anonymity on this platform that we need to be careful. We don't just share our information willy nilly, our private personal information. I mean, we try to share the information that we're here to share, the true crime stuff. So let's see. And yeah, it can be a waste of time, but I also think that it can be helpful to know, like, I want to know what channels are into that, because those are channels that I'm not really interested in watching. I think it's important to defend ourselves when somebody attacks us. And I think it's important to call out crap when you identify crap, and just let it go, just move on, and hope that people will do better. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that they're making idiotic choices, in my opinion. CB really got me thinking, why all the is that like DICK, true crime sleuths involved? Why all true crime sleuths involved in Kylie's case in mainstream media channels? Right. Well, when it was going on, people were definitely doing it for the clicks and the likes and the views. I mean, it was the hot commodity on YouTube. It was the hot topic. And, Zav Girl was kind of the queen of the Kylie Rodney case, wasn't she? And Upchurch and a few others. And, Yeah, there were a lot of pissing contests going on with some male content creators who were really upset about Upchurch just jumping into this true crime uh, forte, like that he didn't belong here because he's a comedian and a musician. It's like, no, anybody can do anything they want. We live in freaking America. That's the whole beauty of it, and that's what's cool about it. But I think that there were people who felt very threatened by him, and I think people felt threatened by Zav Girl. I mean, honestly, I think that's why she became the poster child of that whole scandal that other content creators did exactly out anybody. But I thought it was really unfortunate, and I just love that she has maintained her platform and continued on. I mean, all you can do is eat your humble pie and learn from it and keep moving forward, right? We're all going to make mistakes. Okay. If you followed or tried to follow any of the Summer Wells true crime channels, the most dysfunctional people in this country stand by what I just said. Oh, that's like funny, not funny, huh? See, and I have not covered Summer Wells. I don't think I've ever really talked about her case because it's just so freaking disgusting. I'll tell you my opinion on it is that she probably had some type of incident that she passed away and they're covering that up, the parents, and or she's being trafficked. So it's hard to say. I mean, Tennessee, isn't that where she's from? That's a really bad state for trafficking. Ohio is a really heavy duty trafficking state. I mean, I live right in the thick of it, and a lot of people that live here don't even know it. It hides in plain sight, you guys. So, Mrs. Amir, that is a thought, isn't why. Um, I was thinking it was a young Mark Wahlberg. Oh, Sandra, you saw it too? Yeah, whoever it was, I was thinking, man, like Drip Drop is cute, but he looks really cute without the makeup. I was thinking, this man is hot. Who is it? It does look like a young Marky Mark. Hello, Mom First, True Crime King. He got to ride in front seat of cop car. Allegedly had 3 grams of H, nodded out in car, charges dropped. Can we say CI? Why else front seat? Well, Annie Ruler, I love that you have all this information because just from the gist of him, like his persona, he totally smacks of like mafiosa crap, like, Jersey style, like Sopranos. And he also seems like a plant. He totally seems artificial to me. So that would fit. That would totally fit. And I'm imagining that you probably know these things, that you've done your own fact checking. Mark, you're late. I'm going to put you in a timeout. Just kidding. Oh man, that is so funny, Annie Ruler. Not surprising at all. See, this is why it's good to trust your instinct, because right off the bat, I thought basically what I just said, but I went ahead and listened to him anyway, but it didn't change my first impression. And remember, first impressions are usually correct, right? So nice to see you, Mark. Thanks for coming in, and you will be forgiven for being late. You're like all of 12 minutes late, 13 minutes late. I don't know. Anyway, nobody's timing you. You are right on time. And yes, we can say dim in the IQ department. Of course, not all. Oh, that's funny. You guys are an active chat today. I love it. Let me see if I can stay caught up. Where did that one go that was right below the one that let's see. I think Upchurch has proven he belongs in whatever he sets his mind to. Honestly, I quit paying attention to Upchurch when he was like supporting Kanye West and saying that unbelievable. What did he say? I can't even say it. because if somebody clips it, and he said that the man who started World War II is good, the H word. And I know that that was exactly what Kanye had said in an interview a couple years ago when he had like I don't know, a sock over his face because he's not crazy. And I just kind of gave up on Upchurch. I was like, is he trying to talk crazy talk so that when he goes to court, goes to trial with the Rodney thing, he can say, oh, look, no, I talk complete smack on my channel all the time. Like, look at me saying that Kanye is awesome and that the guy who started World War II is good. Like, I was just like, I just don't have time for it. I mean, the whole thing with the Confederate flag was rough enough. And yeah, I haven't wanted to say anything because I do like a lot of Upchurch's ideas. And, we're not all going to agree with each other on everything. Of course not. But that kind of stuff, no, it's not okay with me at all. CB got kicked. Let's see. So yeah. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about the NK thing. I wanted to talk about the poor little 7-year-old girl that died in the sand hole. It's so sad. So sad. Digging in the sand on the beach. And unfortunately, her parents didn't know you don't do that. You don't do that. Very, very scary. Let's see. I'm just about, I think, 3 minutes behind you guys. Okay. Drift Away. I found it. It's like no one was concerned about Summer, but about every other creator and neighbor and past, and she got lost in the gimme money and look what they did, though narrative. Yeah, her parents are so freaking shady, and the whole situation, and what a sad situation. I mean, much like the Maddie Soto case that I can't pay all that much attention to either for the exact same reasons. However, I did watch the new Paula Plunder about it today. That it's like a 20-minute video, and she doesn't get into the gore. She just really delineates the facts that she digs up in her public records requests. So, I'm interested. I want to stay caught up. It's very relevant. Like, way too many people are victimized in the way that Maddie was. And I think it's important to pay attention because we all need to put a stop to it. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting, and it's all too common. It's all too common. Let's see. Justice, always thought True Crime King was doped up. I watch YouTube, PTSD, ADH. I cannot read easily. That is why I ask questions. That could well be. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of true crime or content creators are, partying, and I don't find anything wrong with that as long as it's in moderation. The entire reason that I don't party is because I can't do anything in moderation. So it's not that I'm uptight about it. It's just that I want to be healthy and I want to live my life. And there's no better gift than sobriety. And when you're an addict, you will tell yourself that you have it under control, but you don't. It controls you. So I think that a lot of the population in general, not just content creators, a lot of us are addicts and we're in denial or we're hiding it. And it's just important to know for ourselves. I mean, it's really important to know for ourselves. But that wouldn't surprise me in the least, Annie Ruler. Michael says, hi, everyone, and hi, Mark. Good morning, or now it's afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Michael. Sunset Salty Sage is here. Woohoo! All right. Thank you for the flowers. That's cute. You're more than welcome. Where did that go? I love Ryan. He is a very open person. Yeah, but the racist stuff, I can't. I just can't. I just can't do hate and yeah. I know he says he's not, but that whole thing with the H dude and then with the Confederate flag, it's he can do his thing, and anybody who wants to follow him is fine. I had to back off after some of the stuff that I caught. I was glad I caught it because I'm like, good to know. Note to self, not my thing. I'm late to JLR was boots along the Cumberland River this morning looking for Riley Strain. It needs a rehabilitation. The homeless camps are bad. Rachel Smith, I saw the thumbnail for that. And, JLR is another one. Like, I think he has a good heart. I think a lot of times he's right on. And then sometimes he's just like, way too much. I know he's got a sketchy history, but who doesn't? Come on. I mean, I have a sketchy history. I just shared that with you. But we learn, we grow, we use it to have compassion. Anyway, I haven't watched him in a while, but I saw that thumbnail and I thought interesting because yeah, he does the boots on the ground thing a lot. If he thinks it, he says it. Yeah, it's good to have a filter. I mean, I like to share, I like to be completely open and honest and authentic, but there's plenty of things that I think that I don't share because my brain's going too fast. It would be like, word salad. I mean, I don't need to share every single idea that I have. I try to like stay on a topic when I can keep myself on that topic. But, to each their own. So I'm going to do me and let everybody else do their own thing and, call out what I think needs to be called out and just try to ignore the rest because, yeah, it's a free country. So it is nice that there's a lot of room for everyone to have their own voice. JLR is an ambulance chaser, in my opinion. See, and I can totally see that 100%. And also, I have watched him in the past and seen him seem extremely sincere and thoughtful and caring. And I've also watched him eat a hamburger, and I thought that was hilarious. You guys watched me eat Pringles a few weeks ago, and I've got some yogurt over here, but I don't think I'll be eating it while I'm on screen. And people eat when they're on screen, but I think it's good to try not to. But when you're on screen all the time, of course you're going to have to eat. Like again, Zav girl, her mom and grandmother live and they all cohabitate together, and they cook for her and they bring her like very healthy, delicious looking meals to her when she's doing her live, and she does a really good job of like having it off screen and just taking small bites as she's going when she's on her 5-hour lives or whatever it is that she does. I mean, you're going to have to if you're going to do a 5-hour live, right? Or back away from the screen and just take a break and go eat. But then you don't want to be like inhaling it. But yeah, the homeless problem is huge. The problem with people disappearing from bars in Nashville is huge. And like, I remember one bar in particular. I don't know if this kid disappeared from the same bar, but it's men that are disappearing from these bars and then winding up deceased in the river a few miles away and basically just getting robbed. So, that's been a theme that it seems like maybe happened to this college kid. I don't know. I haven't, again, it's another case I haven't paid a ton of attention to. I try to pay a ton of attention to the cases that I'm committed to and then the ones that draw my attention. And there are so many sad cases that need attention, and I'm glad that they're getting attention, but I got to try to keep some focus. Yes, I do. I was about to plant some flower seeds and tomatoes to get a start before putting in the ground. See, that's the smartest way to do it. I've never done the starts because I'm not really a gardener. But that's the way you do it. If you are really a gardener, you gotta do your starts. I just plant the seeds and see what happens. It's one of my science experiments, like this YouTube thing. I like to call it my science experiment. I should not have done that headstand yesterday. I'm okay just having a little bit of a headache this morning, but it's truth for them all time. Yeah, yeah, certainly be careful. We talked about that yesterday. And drift, I do as well. Real, recognize real. Yeah. T Rev peed on screen. What? That's freaking cray cray. Whoa. Yeah, I was refilling my water glass on Alive with Kelly from What's the Obsession. And she kind of freaked out, which is understandable because I know what it sounds like when you're pouring water from a bottle into a glass. And I told her, I don't remember if I was on the screen or if I think I just had an icon. And I said, I know what it sounds like. She was like, can you mute yourself? I was like, I know what it sounds like, but seriously, I'm just pouring water, but I did mute myself. But yeah, I mean, things like there's noises that happen that sound like flatulations that if I were to have an incident like that happen on my live, I would say, excuse me. But I seriously believe that there was, uh, I don't know, like two or three, it was about three lives in a row a few months ago when I was rewatching them. And thank goodness I rewatched them. There were sounds like flat. For sure it was you know the truckanese. I thought for sure it was the shadow banners just like playing around and having fun, and I was able to like delete the 1 second out. But the first time it happened, I was like, oh my goodness, how did that happen? I don't even remember. And I was like, I don't think that happened. And then it did it the next day and the day after. And the first day when I deleted out that 1 second, it didn't even change the live to a non-live. So I thought that was weird because if you edit your live, you lose all your chat and it's not live anymore. It goes into your regular video file. So then the second day and the third day that it happened, I edited out those seconds and they did go to the non-live section. But it was really trippy. And I was just like, man, are they going to keep doing this? But maybe because I like took care of them right away, they were just like, okay, we're wasting our time on this. We'll go make somebody else sound like they're farting on their lives. I mean, seriously, those things happen. And if it does, you can address it and say, excuse me, and then you can edit it out. I mean, come on. But weird. Or, I'm always worried about the bats in the cave kind of thing, because I know I do this a lot when I'm reading and getting close to my screen. So, if that happens, please let me know. Spinach on the tooth. There was the one video well over a year ago where I had like the skin of a black bean on my tooth, and it was like kind of back here. So you could only see it when I smiled. And unfortunately, I smiled a few times. And I can't remember if I edited it out, if I took the video down, or if I just left it and thought, no one's going to notice. And if they're going to try to find it, it'll be like a needle in a haystack or Horton Hears a Who kind of thing. Like, good luck finding it. And it would be funny if you did find it. Let me know. Annie, I'm just disgusted with that. Like crazy. I mean, it's fine if you say, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, I don't know the details. I don't think I want to know. Okay, so I don't know BHB and I don't know MGL. Were kind of my intro to true crime, and Bailey and Syrian and Christina Randall and Grizzly True Crime. Yeah, those last three for me for sure. Driftaway says, and I wish I knew who MGL and BHB. Oh, Bullhorn Betty. Okay, so MGL I don't know. I stopped watching him during Summer Wells, but caught him photobombing on Court TV at the Murdoch trial. Oh, too hilarious, photobombing on Court TV. Well, that's how you bring your profile up, and, it's all about bringing your profile up. Bailey does history crimes. I love listening to her. I love her too. Like Christina Randall does some of the history crimes. They're both really good storytellers, but man, watching Bailey put on her freaking makeup is Not something I thought would interest me, but she's so freaking talented. It's crazy. Like she's got to be a professional makeup artist, right? And it is the coolest thing to watch her go from looking super homely to like amazing, like, you know, red carpet Oscar style. Like she knows how to do the freaking makeup. And it's just cool watching as she's talking. It's fun. Anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, what is it called? Like Murder, Mayhem, and Makeup or something like that? Mayhem, Murder, and Makeup. I stopped watching him during Summer Wells. Yeah, the photo bombing. Bailey does history crimes. Read that one. That's right. You do you have your own opinion, and other people have their own opinion, do their own things. It's just different personalities, and that's what makes the world go round. 100%, 100%. And you know, it's fun finding channels that you jibe with. Um, you know, the whole Squirrel Squad thing has been a really rich experience, not something I ever expected, because I know that people are very different and that you're going to have clashes and that it's going to take a lot of time. So um I missed this one. Oh, this is too funny, you guys. Wait, where are we? um okay. Love Bailey. Let's see, I'm about 7 minutes behind. I have my garden spot already. I got to get to the farting part. This is too funny. Bailey is good. I love her colorful persona too. I stretched out this morning. I'm good. Awesome. I did a really awesome yoga class last night. I like to do it earlier in the day though. Let's see. Laugh my butt off. I'm lost. I'm glad that you're having a good laugh. I can't believe Trev would do that, really, Annie. Well, maybe he just had a momentary lapse of reason or something. I think that happens. And he's on, I mean, he's done like the 11-hour lives, maybe 19-hour lives. I don't even know. I mean, what we got Divine Justice, aka Mrs. G, the honey badger, in her 44 hours. Crazy, crazy. Classy folks everywhere. Uh-huh. Zena's chair making noises, and she was like, WTF. I would try and not, because I'm silly like that, and you would know because my face would tell. Well, see, I would just remember, because if there was a noise, I would literally say, excuse me, but I don't even think it's really happened. I mean, now that I've said that, it probably will. But I mean, you know, having gas is part of having a body, and it's healthy. Actually, like there's medication you can take to make you have gas, because after you've had surgery, you got to get your farting going, and it's like a goal. Like, I like to say, it's good to have goals. So when you're recovering in surgery, the first goal you have is to freaking fart again. Once you start farting again, your next big life goal is to poop again, right? But yeah, the chair, it reminded me yesterday, because I thought that my chair made farting noises, and I don't know if it did. I did review the video and I didn't catch it. So please let me know if you catch it. I'm funny like that. I am silly like that too. Harsh one. Oh, Michael McAllister says, I remember farting and laugh out loud. Yeah, you might remember. It was probably at least 3 months ago. And like I said, it happened 3 days in a row. And they timed it really well too. So it was like when I made a big movement like that is when they'd slide it in there, which if you're going to have an accidental flatulence, that's when it would happen. Most likely is when you're moving. And I will admit, it's happened to me more than once in a yoga class. It's probably happened more than once to everybody in a yoga class, because you're doing all that movement. So, and you can say excuse me, or like in yoga, I don't even know if I said excuse me, because you know the whole thing is to like stay silent and to not distract, and it's, you know, a little embarrassing, but who the freak cares? Like, again, eat your humble pie and deal with it. I remember that day I was yelling at you through my screen, and now I'm in chat and I tell you that now. Are you serious, Harsh? Yeah, you could send me an email if you notice that happen again. You know, and if it is a honest to goodness flatulation, I will let you know, and I'll still edit it out. Hey Sherry. Hi, Jazz. Late getting here. Um, thing one. Yes, I did. Oh, is thing one here? Have I missed thing one? How did that happen? Sorry if I missed saying hello to thing one. Yeah, there we go. Morning. Did everyone see Ninja video? Yeah. She said Mrs. G unleashed the D. Is that good or bad? I watched a video of ninjas late last night that was new. It was like a 45-minute video, I think, and it was really good. And I can't remember if I might have fallen asleep during it, so I didn't get to see the whole thing. I think that was the one that I fell asleep watching. So I'll rewatch it, but because I remember the D was in the title, right? And I might have missed the part where she spoke about you, and I don't know what she was getting at with the D. Can you fill me in? Humans being human. Yes, yes, yes. So harsh one. That is so funny. Let's see, where are we? And so, yeah, Harsh one was saying that she did watch the Ninja True Crime. Ninja True Crime has just been on a roll. Like, she is so good. I don't know what professional experience she has with this type of thing, but she's really good and really solid and really authentic. Like, I just respect her so much. And I appreciate her so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for being here. And I haven't done any of my creepy thumb solicitation. Please hit that like button. I just like reminding you guys because I know every single video that I watch, I need to be reminded. I'm like, oh yeah, because they make it hard. Like you have to like back out and get back in. It takes more than a second. It takes more than just a one button thing. So it makes it hard. So what was the other thing? Make sure you're still subscribed if you are subscribed and would like to remain subscribed because you know the shadow banners like to unsubscribe people, or maybe it's just a glitch in the system. I don't like to assume stuff. Please share a video of mine with somebody that might enjoy my channel. If you would, I would appreciate it. And if you want to turn on your notification bell to ring when I have a live or drop a video. And I guys said, I appreciate each and every one of you. I haven't done my disclaimer. Everything I say is simply my opinion, simply for the sake of conversation, hoping to open up a discussion and learn something and become enlightened. And I hope that my videos are educational. That's my aim. That's my goal. All my videos are made for YouTube. It's an entertainment platform. I want to talk more about Kate Middleton today too, because it's sus AF, isn't it? Okay. I am a little bit lost. BHB, MGT, and JLR are too much for me. I don't know who the MGL is. Same Sunset. MGL is over the top. And Driftway says, Jazz, she is actually. She makes me want to do my makeup. Oh, of course. Yeah, she's a professional makeup artist. I mean, she's so good. Like, it's an art form. She is like the best makeup artist in the world and the best storyteller in the world. So she probably learned how to tell really great stories while she was doing people's makeup, right? How cool is that? I mean, she's probably got at least 2 million subs by now. I mean, she is the king of true crime, in my opinion. One of them, anyway. Christina Randall's one, too, for sure. And there's a bunch, there's a bunch that are nowhere near that big that are also, I would crown them kings and queens for sure. She makes me want to do my makeup. I know. And, I just put all my effort into this. I don't do makeup. I try to do my hair at least with a hat or something. I mean, yesterday my bangs were just freaking crazy. And so today I'm like, I'm not taking those chances. So the lighting was terrible yesterday too. Don't watch yesterday's video. It was ridiculous. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. That's what's good is to freaking not care and just go, it's all right. Some are hit, some are miss. Like, no biggie. Yeah. And I don't have filters on this laptop. Like some of the laptops that I've used with my channel, I've had filters and I don't ever want to use filters because I don't want to show what's not real. I want to show you guys my face. Otherwise, I would just have the set and I'd be talking in the background, and I'd have my little train going around like on the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. Anyway, back to the point here. Let's see. Um, Sunset, add Dolly Vision to that list of craziness. So yeah, these are channels I'm not real familiar with. Like, I've heard of Dolly Vision. I've of course heard of Bullhorn Betty. And I think I've heard of one or two good things that Bullhorn Betty has done. But why would you name yourself that? It's just not my cup of tea. So fine that it's her cup of tea. If it works for her, then great. Run with it. Flatulence excuses. Oh my goodness, I stepped on a frog. That's a great one. I love it. I think Mrs. G broke the internet. Yes. Aren't you Mrs. G thing one? Isn't that you? My dog stepped on a bee. You guys. That's awesome. Thank you for the good laughs. I am like crying with the good laughs. My dog stepped on a bee. So I do wear eyeliner. I don't want you guys to think I don't want to be misleading. I do have eyeliner on, and I sometimes put lipstick on. I usually can't even find my makeup though. So if I can find it, I'll do a little lipstick and a little eyeliner, and that's it. Like, I don't even do mascara because it's annoying when it comes off. I used to just do mascara and lipstick, like going to work, but I hate the way it turns into the black dust under your eye. There's probably a brand that doesn't do that, but anyway, back to the point. Amber Heard turd. Amber Heard has a channel, like the Amber Heard from Johnny Depp. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know. MGL is over the top. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who that one is. Let's see. F around and find out. Any Ruler T-Rev is not a male creator I want to see shirtless. This was all around the alleged offer called In Time. Whoa, so he did the shirtless thing too? Good times, huh? Yeah. I appreciate him as a content creator, but yeah, I don't watch either. I'm amazed that so many people do, because he's kind of a goofball, but that's good. If people like goofballs, I like that, honestly, I do. What is going on here? How much stuff have I missed? I'm trying to get caught up. Okay, so I got Annie Rulers, and that was at 12:31, and it's 9 minutes ago. Okay, I'm gonna speed read and get caught up. Okay, because I don't like being behind you guys. We all are humans here, and laugh out loud. I really love happiness. Funny story: my daughter was 4, and a lady at my sister's rummage sale was chewing her gum and popping bubbles inside her mouth. Oh, that's a good one. For some reason, every time I'm watching you, I get kicked off and it starts over at the beginning after 30 minutes. Jackie Bushable, I was having a lot of trouble watching Shan's live last night. That kind of thing was happening to me. So I don't know if it's a glitch in the system or if it's the shadow banning. My guess is that it could be either, it could be both. Let's just go with that. I'm dying laughing inside. And see, that's so good. That's so healthy. I haven't shared with you guys very often. I've shared it a couple of times, I think, that Patch Adams was a really good friend of my mom's when I was growing up. You guys have seen the Patch Adams movie, the whole thing with the laughter therapy. That's real. He's real. He's still alive. Blame the dog when you toot at yoga class. Yeah, blame the downward dog, right? Or the up dog. So my daughter said, "Lady, did you fart? Hey, lady, I asked you a question. It's a huge joke 35 years later." Oh my goodness, Driftaway. Like, I thought your last comment was the whole story, and I thought that was a good story. It's even better now. Lady, did you fart? I asked you a question. I would just see if it was me. I would just say, like, if I had, I would say, yes, I did. And excuse me, I'm sorry. And if I hadn't, I would say, no, I'm chewing gum. But yeah, that's a good one. So if I'm in that situation, I could lie and say, no, I'm just chewing gum. So, but I really don't like to lie, but something like that, it's fine. Sis said, get your daughter. And I said, oh, claim she is mine now, LOL. Drift away. Your story just keeps getting better and better. So good. You're making me want to fart. I see Ninja video once. Jazz makes you go away. I'll see Ninja video once. Jazz makes us go away. Wait, what? I'm so confused. What you mean by that, Sunset? Drift away. LOL. I had an incident with my kids. Every step got louder at grocery store. All I could do was laugh. Yeah, again, humble pie, man. It's no biggie. Crap dusting crop dusting in the grocery store. See, at least you didn't crap your pants. I saw that the crop and I thought it said crap and I was like, oh no. Because that happens. I mean, especially, people with health issues, and it's really sad. Um, could when we coughed, we wished we could fart to cover it up. Huh. That's a good one. Yeah. And mechanic finally coming to look at my car. Sorry. So thing one is Mrs. G, right? And you have a mechanic who does house calls? Crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I mean, I have a mechanic who will come and tow my car for free and then do stuff at his garage. Actually, it's the same mechanic that my son works for, but he did that anyway. He started his garage like 14 years ago, and we've been clients of his ever since he started. I didn't know that he had just started when we became clients of his because he had a really good reputation and he had a really good business, a really good following already. So yeah, we've been taking our cars to him forever. And so the kid who's working for him would have only been 2 when we first started taking our cars to him. Sorry, the flu with C word. Okay. Annie, you're way beyond me. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I'm thinking the see you next Tuesday when you say C word. Anyway, see you later, thing one. Mwah, 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 mwah. One thing and said it was driver. LOL. Sunset. Yes, that's what it's called. One thing great about a week late, but better than never. McAllister says Ninja Chihuahua was the memberships, and I think that it will be on now. Everyone. Yeah, I need to figure out that whole membership thing. That might be my next step. But I was gonna just try to do some cash apps to warn you guys. I'm not putting pressure on nobody for nothing. But I know some people like to donate money to their favorite content creators or just content creators in general, whether they're favorites or not. And so I don't want to deprive anybody of that. So I'm going to try to do Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and maybe Apple or something like that. But I haven't done it yet. I'll let you guys know when it's done. And if you want to send me money, it's greatly appreciated. And if you don't, I still appreciate you just as much. So don't even worry about it. Oh, and I haven't checked to see. I bet my numbers are getting close to my first $50. Although I told you guys I made like over 160 the first month that I had my channel, but they never sent it to me. But they still have it as money that I've earned. So why don't they just send it to me? It sure would be nice if they sent it with the first payment once, because I know you have to have at least $150 for them to make that first payment to you. But wouldn't it be nice if they like bonused it up with the 160 some from last year? That would be a nice thing because I know I've been making money for them a little bit. It all adds up. Anyway, I'm getting caught up, right? That was my goal here. Molly Go Lightly, thank you. Yeah, I watched her once eat an entire Big Mac and French fries. Like her husband brought her the McDonald's bag, and it seemed like it was something she did routinely. So I quit watching. I was like, what? Molly Go Lightly. Yeah. Bullhorn, Molly go lately. Yeah, not sure if I spelled it right. I told my 3 teens it's my job to embarrass you, payback. Oh, it's totally our job to embarrass our kids, right? BHB, Bullhorn Betty. Yes, Bex. Deliberately spelled it wrong. That's good. Good advertisement, Jazz. Don't watch. I had a bad hair day. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, yesterday was a really bad hair day and bad lighting day. Like when I was watching the video, I was just like, ew. And then I realized I had a red light up high. And I think it just did weird things to like the texture. The texture of everything looked bizarre to me. Maybe it's just me. Excuse me. I did have a small belch. I will admit it. It's happened once or twice. Um, I try usually just to like not worry about it, not even say excuse me, so that it doesn't distract me or you or anybody. Let's see. What happened? Okay. Jackie, yes, not muted. The shirtless, I can't remember if same show. He turned MSM and I stopped watching. Sent his wife clothes money for his kids. Oh, funny. Um, yeah, I mean he's gotten a lot of uh and is it doing this thing to me now where it's not letting me um tag it? And when it did that yesterday, that was right before it dropped my video. I'm at 56 minutes. I think it dropped my live yesterday at 45 minutes. I'm not sure. I hope you guys are still here because now it's doing weird stuff. It better just be glitches and not shadow banning. Anyway, I'm gonna get caught up so I can see if you guys are telling me something. Laugh audio is more important than visual. I'm from Buffalo. Oh, one thing FAFO is not Mrs. G. I'm confused. I'm partial to both. Amber's dog stepped on a bee, allegedly. Big weird wince. She had more emotion there with that statement than anywhere else in the entire trial. Jackie Bush, I have YouTube issues. Writing comments cannot see words if too sensitive. I really love watching this channel, and she is doing her makeup and making me want to put makeup on. LOL. Michael, it is a thing now. You can even wear dresses. Go for it. Michael, do what makes you happiest as long as it doesn't hurt you or anyone else. Well, that's the thing is you got to watch out for hate crimes because hate crimes are real. Let's see. Squirrels on Fire will go live, was live stream last night, and God, I didn't even get a notification if it was last night. Yeah, I was watching her live last night, and I think that's the one that kept having glitches for me. I don't know if it had glitches for other people, but chat disconnected. Okay, let's see. One proven lie after another with Amber Turd reminds me of someone else I know, precisely Bex. Any ruler, I will have to pass on the dress and farting out. Oh, come on, Michael, live a little. I meant we wished we could fart to cover a cough during COVID. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, yeah, because it was like super embarrassing if you had a sneeze or a cough because you're just like, oh my God, everybody, I'm so sorry. Let me run out of the building. Yeah, that was wild. That was way worse than a fart, wasn't it? I haven't seen any ads while replaying lives I missed. Huh, interesting. Because, yeah, I do have it, but maybe they're just not there. Who knows? Unable to connect to chat. Please try again. Why did my chat drop off? So I'm just hitting an hour. It's 12:51, and the last chat I can read is I'm going to highlight it. It's this one from Mrs. Amir at 12:47, but now it won't even let me highlight it. So that's the last chat I can see is the first one from 12:47, or the only one from 12:47, because it says that there was one at 12:48 and three at 12:49, and then I don't even think it's telling me any after that. Okay, well then I can focus on my notes. So I wanted to follow up with yesterday. I was talking about the situation with Dan Estes and the possibility that somebody with the name Dan Estes, I'm glad that I remembered to point that out. It might not be Dan Estes, it might be somebody pretending to be Dan Estes that is cyberbullying 1111 True Crime. And she did change the name of her channel, so it's just 1111 True Crime. I put the link to that video in yesterday's video description. And I was so happy with my brain that I was accurate almost in remembering the name of the town that he's from in Colorado. I said La Loma, but it's just Loma. But it is about 1,200 people. So I got that part right. And then I was also talking about Blue Sky Realty, and then there's Big Sky Realty. And Mama D was talking about all that in her video that I put that link in yesterday's video description of mine. And it reminded me, I forgot all about that whole thing with the murder of crows at the 1122 King Road residence. And it was a realtor from Blue Sky Realty or Big Sky Realty that called 911. And that's so freaking bizarre. And now I have tried looking for it. I've tried Googling that information and I can't find it anymore. And I think I used to be able to find it by Google. So I thought that was weird. Like, why would they scrub that? That would be so bizarre. I mean, this case, that whole Idaho 4 case couldn't get any more bizarre. A note that I have here, you guys, on the Maddie Soto case, because you know that it struck me that Madeline Soto's disgusting mother, the way she spoke was extremely similar to the way Scammy spoke, and extremely similar to the way Lindsay spoke in our dear Kylie Rodney's disappearance and tragedy. Both Kylie and Maddie Soto were 7 years old when stepdads entered their lives. We know that Maddie Soto was terribly abused and assaulted by the dirtbag that's in jail right now. He took scrupulous notes and videos and photographs, so at least there's the evidence to charge him with. I'm not saying that Kylie's stepdad did anything like that to her. I don't know, but it happens way too often. That's all I want to say about that. So I did want to readdress the situation with the Royals, right? When I brought it up yesterday in the video, I knew that there was stuff coming out in real time about Kate Middleton being seen at the farmer's market over the weekend. I'm not convinced that that's real, you guys. My mind has just kind of run with it. Like, one of you yesterday said the timing of it, that maybe Prince Charles needed a kidney or something and she didn't fare well through a surgery, and I thought that was interesting. And then looking on the internet, I think that is an idea that other people have had too. And I mentioned self-injury, and I'm sorry that I mentioned self-injury, because what's really scary about this situation to me is how easy it would be for the Royals to do whatever they wanted and then say that it was self-injury, right? Like what freaking Kylie Rodney's people tried to do to her when she first went missing. They tried to act like, well, it wouldn't surprise me if, that sweatshirt she was wearing and everything. And, she was an angry kid. So yeah, I brought up the thing about the girl in the sand hole, and that was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I think. If you guys have seen any of that on the YouTube, it's so tragic. I think it was about a week ago. The reason I want to bring it up is because I saw a real current video of the parents talking about it. It must have happened way more than a week ago, because the video was just from a few days ago, and they couldn't possibly be talking about it without bawling their heads off. It probably happened previously, and it's just hitting the news now. But the thing that the dad said that I thought was really vital, I think it was him, might have been both of them, is that when you see something, say something. Like, don't be afraid to say something. Like, there were so many people at the beach that day, and certainly some of the people that saw these kids digging this deep, deep hole knew that that was a bad idea. I mean, we've all been taught that for decades. So why did nobody tell the kids, tell their parents? Super sad that there was no lifeguard on duty. But if there's anything good that can come of such a tragic, horrible loss, and this little girl is so freaking cute in the videos that they showed of her. Um, I mean, she truly seems gifted. But if you see something, say something. And don't be afraid. Like, yeah, we need to stay in our lanes, but that's staying in your lane. If you see kids doing something extremely dangerous like that, and you know that it's extremely dangerous, I think saying something is staying in your lane. I think not saying something is no. And I'm going to imagine that anybody who saw that going on and they were just like, taking a walk on the beach and thought to themselves, oh, don't those people know that they shouldn't be doing that, that they shouldn't be letting their kids do that, that they would be beside themselves that they didn't say anything. Because obviously the kids didn't know, and obviously the parents didn't know. And maybe, the shape of the hole, they thought it was safe, because obviously if you're digging straight down, it's real obvious that the walls can cave in. But this was more like a bowl shape from the photographs that I could see. But maybe that's just how it looked after it fell in. But I don't know. I don't know the details. All I know is a 7-year-old girl was buried under the sand. The little boy, who I didn't catch his age, he was buried too. I'm going to bet you he was older, because he survived and she didn't. So they were able to get him out and he's alive. By the time they got her out, it was too late. And that is just absolutely so, so awful. So, like I said, if anything good can come of that tragedy, just alerting people that it's okay to say something when you see something. And I've got to just turn and let you guys see, because I'm getting my the lights, aren't they getting better? Isn't that so cool? The chakra globes. I'm really excited about it. So I still can't see your chat. I hope that you can hear me if you're there. Um, let's see. There was a couple other things that I was going to share. The thing with the royal family, again, I don't want to be spreading misinformation if there's not a love child with Prince William and his side thing. I don't know that there is or there isn't, but I said yesterday that I thought that there might be, and that I had heard something even with a specific age. But then I heard that the allegation or the story is that William met the one that he may or may not be having an affair with in 2019. So the oldest a child could be would be 4. But I don't know that there is a child. I don't know anything about if there is actually an affair. I just know that a lot of people are talking. A lot of people are honestly, earnestly concerned about Kate Middleton and her mental health and her physical well-being. And again, I hate to say mental health, because the royal family can spin it like that. They can do whatever they want. Like, if she wants a divorce, they can say no. And then they can say, oh, well, she was just so depressed about whatever that she offed herself. And then they don't have to cop to anything that William may or may not have done. And that's pretty much how it goes in our patriarchal society. And the royal family is extremely patriarchal, even though it was a matriarch for the last 80 years or however long Queen Elizabeth was the queen. It's still a very male dominated culture there. So, the women get to take the fall for everything. Like Princess Diana. Like, she was the bad guy for getting therapy and having an eating disorder and getting a divorce, when her terrible douchebag prince was cheating on her from before the time that he married her. And she was like 18. And how old was he? How old was he when they met? I mean, I don't even know the age difference, but if she was underage, that's gross. It's bad enough that she was 18. And I'm pretty sure he's like, what, 7 or 9 years older than her? I can Google it and find out before I wrap this up. Let's see. Prince Charles, or is he the king now, right? Gross. He is 75 years old. So he was born in 1948. So what year was Princess Diana born in? Year Lady Di born. 61. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? She was born in 1961. He was that much older than her? What? One second here. How old was Prince Charles when he married Diana? Sorry to be fubbing you guys. He was 32 years old when he married her and she was 18, you guys. How did I freaking miss that? What a scumbag. So if he was in her pants, pardon the expression, before she turned 18, which he probably was, that would make him a pedophile. Sorry, not sorry. He was 14 years older than her, which wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't cheating on her already. What a jerk. Timeline, and the next article is timeline of King Charles III and Queen Camilla's royal love story. Oh, that's disgusting. And so Camilla is 16 months older than him. Why didn't he just freaking marry her and leave Lady Diana, Princess Diana, alone? Oh, 32? How did I not know this my whole life? I mean, I watched their wedding on television when I was, let's see, it was 1981 that they got married. So I was like 14 years old when I watched it. I mean, I had no idea he was 32. And I don't mean to be offensive. Like, I don't have anything against big age differences except for when somebody's underage. Okay. Honestly, like big age differences, time and age, those are just numbers. But when someone's underage and she was barely of age, that makes me sick. And especially that he was in love with somebody else. Like, why didn't he just marry the somebody else and let her live her own life? Like, why did he have to own her? Because she fit what he wanted as like a trophy bride? So freaking sad. Oh, I'm glad I looked that up. Sorry for the fubbing. So back to the Idaho 4 case for a second, talking about the town of Loma, Colorado, where the traffic cam read the criminal defendant's license plate. And so that's how the feds got an eye on him again after not knowing which direction he went when he left the apartment to head from Pullman, Washington to Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. I just don't understand, like, why the coincidence of Loma, Colorado, this itty bitty town of 1,200 people. So, like, why is it that that just happens to be the town where Dan Estes lives, and that just happens to be where the criminal defendant was driving through, and it just happens to be where they say that the license plate reader caught captured his license plate. So they were able to track him. Like, that's just too many coincidences. There's no such thing as coincidence in homicide. And that's not a quote that I made up. It's a quote that a lot of people say. I got it from the movie Zero Effect. Great movie. You guys have heard me talk about it dozens of times. No such thing as coincidence in a homicide. I think the Homicide Hunter might say that too. So I think it's an old saying. I don't think that movie made that up either. The Zero Effect movie is just one of the things that they really harp on. And of course, as a detective, you need to pay attention to everything, especially things that are just the probability of that being a coincidence that Dan Estes lives in Loma, Colorado, and that Kohberger was driving through there, and that the license plate reader registered his license plate, alerting the feds that that's where he was. That's just like a whole freaking psyops probability, right? As is them selling that whoever did this was an incel, and they sold that prior to his arrest. And they've really tried to, I think, pigeonhole him with that and make people have zero empathy for him. But if he was an incel, if he literally was an incel, he would have been probably like a true incel. He would have been on the watch list of the federal government for being an incel, because they're considered a terrorist group, you guys. So I just wanted to share that. I'm really sorry that the chat pooped out, and I'm hoping that the live is still going since I'm flapping my jaw. I'll go ahead and wrap it up since I don't know if it's even recording or not. It says it is. I will try to get things sorted out. If it's my internet connection or the laptop, I'm not sure. I would think that more likely it would be the internet connection. That could explain why I was having trouble staying on Shan's live, just in the chat. But it could be shadow banning. I mean, we got to keep an open mind to the various possibilities. So I'm going to say peace out. It is a little bit after 1. It's just about 10 minutes after 1. On the first day of spring, enjoy the great outdoors. Enjoy some sunshine and fresh air. Make sure you get your nourishment and your hydration and some exercise. I was going to do a little like tidbit like I did yesterday, a couple of yoga tips. I think I've told you guys my favorite pose. Let's see. I don't know if I can do the tree pose. I was thinking of getting up and moving the chair out of the way and trying to show you guys something, but let's see if I can kick everything over while I do this, right? Probably a bad idea, but that's all right. Let's see. Please, nothing fall over. And yeah, I don't even know if you can see my legs well enough. So the tree pose is you take your one foot. So I have my right foot and I'm putting it on the inseam of my left thigh. But when you do this, you want to be really careful not to push against your knee, because that's bad, obviously. And then you can do prayer hands up over your head or hands to heart. You can play around with it and do various things with your arms. You can do the goalposts. You can do straight out. It's fun. It's really good because you're doing a balance. A lot of people can't balance on one leg, and I'm amazed that I can balance this long. It's because I've been practicing. That's the cool thing about a yoga practice. So I'm going to do it on the other side just to balance out. And yeah, I have on like yoga pants that have like a ballet thing around the ankles, the calves. Then I've got this dress on. So just to show you what's going on with the foot. And the way, as an instructor, the way you tell people to do this pose is you say, put the bottom of your left foot on the inseam of your right thigh or leg and put it anywhere but the knee. So like I'm doing it above my knee, you can do it below your knee. But then if you can do the prayer hands over your head, that is the true tree pose. And you can do hands to heart and you can move your hands around. And the longer you can hold it, the better. See, it's funny because the balance on my other leg, the balance on my left foot was much easier. And I might have been mixing up my left and right feet as I was telling you guys what to do because I'm looking at the screen and the screen is opposite. So right now I have the bottom of my left foot on the inseam of my right thigh, and my right strength with balance is not as good as my left strength with balance, at least not today. And that's kind of normal to have things be very different from one side to the other. So try your tree poses, you guys. Here, I'm going to get out of the screen so you can see the full effect of all the cool stuff I got back there, but also the light's too bright. So now I'm going to come back into the screen to say goodbye. Sending you light, sending you love. Try the tree pose. It's one of my favorites. Have a great first day of spring and hopefully see you tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for joining me, you guys. Peace out.